Hey folks, I have read your papers about teamwork today. Wednesday is my campus day, so I was at the Liberty campus all day today. It's amazing how being on campus can seriously decrease your productivity. I feel like I've been drips and drabs all day trying to get things done. So I apologize that my feedback video is coming so much later than the completion of my grading. It has been a long day. Your, uh, as you can see, the puppies are just getting home from daycare, so they are rambunctious as well. So if they get unwieldy, I may have to pause this and go put somebody in timeout. Okay, so your papers, they were fantastic. You all are doing such a phenomenal job of using APA to organize your writing and properly support it. Your reference lists are fantastic. I'm not sure how you got this good this early in your program, but you're making my job far, far too easy, and I am super grateful. When your writing is clear and your APA formatting is crisp, it makes it so much easier for me just to focus on your content, to just look at the story you're telling, the development of your ideas. So I'm really grateful for that opportunity, especially in this paper. There's so many important key pieces of teamwork, and you will really hit on so many of them from your reading this week and did a beautiful job integrating those concepts into what you experience in your own practice. Your classmate Giselle did a really nice job wrapping up the concepts in her conclusion of her paper. Giselle wrote, "In my own practice, I have realized that efforts to improve education and training in the use of the electronic medical record require an interdisciplinary approach. In the future, I look to include more disciplines, especially physicians and mid-level providers, in improving the use of the electronic medical record and improving training and education." Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9 through 12 says, two are better off than one, because together they work more effectively. If one of them falls down, the other can help him up. Effective teamwork can accomplish goals and fulfill the purpose. I think Giselle did a really nice job reminding us the importance of extending the offer of interdisciplinary work with our teammates. So often we wait to be invited to the club or invited to a project or invited to a committee. Nurses are leaders. We are born coordinators, leaders, facilitators. When we take the initiative to really create interdisciplinary practice, interprofessional education, all of those things that help us collaborate effectively, we really are positively changing healthcare, and we're improving patient outcomes. You all did a great job pulling all those pieces together and really talking about how our ability to work effectively as a team, to communicate effectively as a team, to share resources as a team positively impacts our patients. So impressed with your insights. In case you're wondering, Gracie was at the door barking. That was her. So I really appreciate Giselle pulling it together and then reminding us from Ecclesiastes chapter 4 that iron really does sharpen iron, that when we really are working collaboratively, we are all growing and we have a backup. When we're on a team, we are not by ourselves. So I appreciate your thoughtful approach to this week's work and your efforts on writing and developing your ideas and supporting your ideas. Could not be more pleased with those efforts. Next week, you have your reflective exercise number 2 that is due. This assignment, I think, is super interesting. For me, it's great to read because I get to see all of your creative sides, but sometimes students struggle with this. And the thing that students struggle with is the development of the professional practice model. Gracie, shh. There's someone outside walking with a flashlight. And they're 3 and 2, and they are certain that all flashlights are the enemy. I am not a fan of daylight savings time. Okay, what was I talking about? Oh, the professional practice model. Okay, so one of the things you've got to do is you've got to think about, where are you currently a leader, or where do you see yourself being a leader later? Maybe there's an organization that you really aspire to work for, or look at your own organization and develop your own basic understanding of a professional practice model that would represent your organization. Now, the piece of this is you've got to come up with a schematic, and that's basically, it's just a pretty word for a picture. You've got to use the tools in Word to create a chart or a figure or a schematic, whatever word you want to do, that shows your professional practice model in a picture format. And that should include your key concepts and relationships with each other, so that when someone looks at your professional practice model on its own with no words, they've got a pretty good idea of how everything is connected in the professional practice model that you're developing. So know that that's an expectation. If doing things like that and creating diagrams and figures with Word creates a little bit of anxiety, or it's not something you've tried before, open up a blank Word document and play with it for a while. Really spend some time kind of playing with that skill. It does not have to be overly complex, but it does need to be clear. So take your time to make this an aesthetic product. When I look at it, I want to be able to see a work product that if I put up in a PowerPoint and projected it into an office or a room full of professionals in your work environment, they would look at that and go, yep, that's us. They get it. And they would get it in an aesthetic or a pretty format so that it's pleasing when you look at it. So begin this assignment early. Please avoid doing this late on Sunday because it does take a little bit of effort. And think through this. Follow the instructions that's provided to you. Make sure you're looking at the rubric to make sure you're hitting all the key pieces. Let me know if you have questions or concerns or if there's anything about this assignment that feels unwieldy to you, and I'm happy to offer support as I can. This is the first week of Advent. I believe I mentioned that in the welcome message this week. I do hope that you are spending some time really thinking about that first week of the Advent season and thinking about the promise, the hope, the prophecy that the generations years ago had in waiting for the birth of Jesus Christ and what that meant to them, and now what it means to us. I hope that you're finding comfort and joy in reflecting on that hope and that promise, and that you're finding comfort from knowing that God keeps His promises no matter what they are. He is faithful, and I hope that you are feeling His comfort and grace in that this week. Know that I'm here. Know that I'm praying for you. Remember to use the Ask the Professor link for the who, what, when, where, how questions, and anything personal to your own experience, your grade. Send that to me directly by email, and I will look forward to being able to chat with you later. Looking forward to seeing your reflective exercise next week and wrapping up the course. You are so very close. We're in week 6. Hang in there, folks. Christmas is almost here. Take care.